If you're constantly chasing the latest and greatest in coffee grinding, the Varia VS6 might just be the grinder that puts an end to your FOMO. With an incredible range of burr options, it's like having the Swiss Army knife for flavor profiling, letting you fine-tune the quality of the grind to match your exact taste preferences. And today, we're on a mission to uncover just how different burr sets impact the taste of your coffee. Now, with the release of the Varia VS6 came no less than 8 sets of burrs, not including the default burrs, that you could additionally purchase to upgrade this grinder. Now, rather than testing every burr set at once here, I've done a side-by-side comparison to help you decide between specific upgrades. So we're tackling the key questions, which I see are: how does the default burr set compare to upgraded options? And are conical burrs worth switching to? And do premium burrs make the difference when brewing filter coffee? Now, by the end of this video, I hope you'll have a clearer idea of which upgrade, if any, makes sense for your brewing style. And this brings me to a great segue that if you want to save on your next coffee gear purchase, every time you shop, share, and engage with us, you earn BrewPoint loyalty points. And this is where 1 point is gained for every dollar spent. Now, more points means bigger discounts, plus exclusive deals just for members. So you can sign up today and start earning. I'll throw the link in the description down below. Now let's jump into the video. Now, to keep things fair, I've been dialing in the espressos to a standard recipe, just like most of you would. And I used 2 different beans. I used a blend that was more chocolate forward and a single origin that was more fruit forward. And then for filter coffee, I was focusing on the grind consistency and flavor clarity. And coming back to the espresso, whilst I could tweak every burr for perfect extractions, really my goal here is to highlight real-world differences without getting lost in endless adjustments. Now, the Varia VS6 has multiple compatible burr sets, each with unique geometries and material hardnesses that influence grind consistency and flavor. So, which burrs actually do change the game here? Let's break down what we're comparing today. We'll start with the default stainless steel flat burrs versus the conical stainless steel burrs. And this is purely a geometry difference, as what changes when you go from flat to conical. Then we'll take a look at the default stainless steel flat burrs versus the Supernova Gold, then the Hypernova Iridescent, and then finally the Kilonova Burrs. And these upgrades increase burr quality step by step, but how does each impact the final cup? And then we'll take a look at conical stainless steel burrs versus conical Kilonova. And if you're considering conical burrs, should you stick with the standard or go all out for that top tier option? And then finally, we'll take a look at the default stainless steel flat burrs versus the Supernova Gold, specifically for brewing filter coffee. So, do premium filter-focused burrs make a meaningful difference in filter coffee? Each of these tests will highlight what does really change in the grind consistency, but most importantly, flavor. Now, before we get into the taste results, let's break down the core differences between each burr set. The default flat burrs, these are a 58mm flat burr made of standard 420 stainless steel. They perform well, but don't have any specialized coating to them, and notably are designed with 6 pre-breaking edges to improve initial bean fragmentation, which affects grind consistency and extraction. As if we look at the Supernova Gold and the Hypernova Iridescent, these are upgraded flat burrs with a titanium coating to increase hardness, along with heat resistance. Now, in theory, they improve longevity and grind consistency. Now, both of these burrs also have different geometries to them, with the Gold Supernova having no pre-breakers, following a familiar filter coffee burr design. And then the Hypernova Iridescent having 20 pre-breakers, which is the most of any burr set here. And then finally, we do skip over the Hypernova Ultra straight to the Kilonova burr set, as these both share the same geometry and are the highest end flat burrs available for the VS6. They both have 9 pre-breakers and are made of higher grade materials. Then we take a look at the Conical Burrs. Now, these change the way beans are cut and crushed. And the goal? A different grind distribution and potentially a different flavor profile. We're going to skip over the Conical, Supernova, and Iridescent, as the Conical Burr geometries again are all the same, and we'll just go straight to the Kilonova Burr set, which is the most premium Conical Burr option. Now let's get into the flavor results. Alright, comparison number 1, default flat burrs versus the Conical stainless steel. Switching from flat to Conical burrs is one of the biggest changes you can make on a grinder. The key differences are, when using Conical burrs here, they perform better at lower RPMs of the burrs. And we do know that the Varia VS6 is a variable RPM grinder, but its limit is 500 RPM. That's as low as it can go. And this leaves you having only 600 RPM as the max speed of the variable motor when grinding espresso and using Conical burrs. So essentially, you don't have variable RPM when using Conical burrs. Just know that. Then when it came to the flavor comparisons, looking at the chocolate blend first, the flat burrs brought out brighter acidity and more clarity, but it did come with a lighter body. I got more dark chocolate bitterness up front on the blend, whereas the Conical burrs shifted towards a rounder, sweeter profile with caramel and milk chocolate lingering in the aftertaste. So I would say, if you like a sharper, more defined espresso, the flat burrs win. But if you prefer smoothness and sweetness, really the Conical burrs take it. And then again with the fruity single origin espresso, the flat burrs emphasize higher brightness and maintain a crisp, sparkling finish. They highlight fruity acidity, and I found they brought out a lemon curd-like body. Whereas the Conical burrs, they soften the experience, giving a more biscuit-like sweetness with a velvety body. Less sharp acidity, but still a balanced result. So if clarity and brightness are your thing, flat burrs take it. And if you want that smoother, more rounded espresso, go Conical. No surprises there. Let's now take a look at the default flat burrs versus the Supernova Gold. Is this the best upgrade for espresso clarity or just an overpriced flex? Now the Supernova Gold burrs are really designed for filter coffee in mind, but we want to see if they make a tangible difference in flavour and grind consistency when it comes to the espresso too. Now, what I found was a stark reality for the espresso. The Supernova Gold burrs significantly reduced brightness and sweetness, leading to a more muted, mellow profile. The finish is less distinct and the body shifted to a neutral middle ground. Overall, the default flat burrs maintained a more complex, expressive cup, whilst the Supernova Gold flattened out all intensity. And this went for both sides of the coin when it came to the blend or the single origin coffee. So I would honestly give the Supernova Gold a complete miss for brewing espresso on them. Though next, we've got the Iridescent Hypernova. Now these are a cool looking set of burrs, and they feature a higher grade geometry with 20 pre-breaking edges. This burr set offers enhanced consistency, especially as an all-round burr option for espresso and filter coffee, as they say. Now, how do they compare to the standard default burrs? Well, in the espresso blend, the default flat burrs emphasized a brighter acidity and delivered a bittersweet body. The overall balance is good, but it has slightly lighter texture. Whereas the Hypernova Iridescent burrs shifted towards a smoother, sweeter body and a more refined taste. The brightness was slightly reduced compared to the default burrs, but the clarity and the cleanliness improved significantly. The Hypernova burrs provide a cleaner, more defined flavor profile. But if you want brightness and punch with a traditional espresso base, then the default burrs still have that edge. And then when it came to the single origin espresso, the default flat burrs do get that higher brightness and a fruity, sparkling finish, but that body is light with, I guess, a bit of a creamy texture. Whereas the Hypernova burr set, these deliver a more balanced sweetness and a richer, more velvety body. The aftertaste too was sensational and much cleaner. So the Hypernova burrs, they do soften the sharpness of a single origin, but they do preserve clarity and overall flavor definition. I think making them a great choice for smooth yet vibrant shots. And I feel like they did accentuate more of each coffee's expressive flavor notes without giving up any balance. Next up, we're going to go full premium on the Kilonova burrs. Are these really the ultimate VS6 upgrade, or is it really just diminishing returns past a certain point? Well, I did find when using the espresso blend, the Kilonova Burrs increased brightness and balance whilst significantly improving the body of the coffee. Sweetness was higher, making the cup richer and more complex without losing any definition. And with the cleanliness being the same across both burr sets, the overall experience with the Kilonova it was a livelier, bolder, and more engaging espresso. And even with the single origin, brightness being similar, the sweetness jumps out from the Kilonova Burrs, making fruit notes pop. With the body, there was slight increases to help maintain structure. So I think if you want best flavor definition and balance whilst keeping complexity in your shots, honestly, the Kilonova Burr sets are that clear upgrade. So now let's check out the conical stainless steel versus the conical Kilonova. For those of you who are already leaning towards conical burrs, it's time to decide if you should stick with the default conical stainless steel set or perhaps go the premium Kilonova. Here's what I found to be the case. The stainless steel conical burrs provide a smoother, rounder cup with a slightly more pronounced body, but with mellow acidity, and the flavors were well balanced, with an emphasis on smooth caramels and chocolate notes, though brightness is less pronounced compared to the Kilonova Burr set. So the Kilonova conical burrs, they offer more brightness, creating a lively espresso that emphasizes crisp fruitiness. Whilst the body is slightly less pronounced than the stainless steel conical burrs, it's the clarity and the structure that are better, leading to a more defined, brighter cup of coffee. And then again, in the single origin espresso, the stainless steel conical burrs, they focused on a more well-rounded, smoother profile with a slightly softer acidity than the Kilonova. The flavor tended towards more biscuity sweetness with a nice creamy finish. The Kilonova conical burrs, these enhance the natural brightness and fruit forward notes of the coffee whilst maintaining a smoother profile. The finish also is much cleaner and those fruit notes are more defined, making it ideal for those of you who want a bright, vibrant single origin espresso. And finally, I tested the Supernova Gold burrs against the stainless steel default burrs, but specifically for brewing filter coffee. So I was looking to see if the Supernova Gold makes a real impact on flavor clarity, sweetness, and balance when brewing the filter coffee. And what I found was that the Supernova Gold burrs do increase brightness and clarity, making the filter coffee more defined. They also boost sweetness and balance, leading to a more expressive, cleaner finish in the cup. So it's as simple as that. Honestly, if you like brighter, more refined filter coffee, the Supernova Gold burrs win hands down. If you prefer a more traditional balanced cup, then the default flat burrs are fine. And I would add to that if you're only ever so often making filter coffee, you'll make tasty filter coffee with the default burrs. You can play around with the RPM control and the grind size, honestly, rather than swapping out burrs for different brew methods. And that, my coffee friends, is the complete breakdown of the Varia VS6 Burr sets. If you've been debating a burr upgrade, I hope this has made things much clearer. But look, honestly, if you are still torn, drop a comment down below and let's figure this out together. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. I hope you found it useful. If you have, please hit that like button, but more so, subscribe to this channel as it will help it grow. Thanks for watching and happy brewing.